camera's up there in the center, dude.
Bruce sees all.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Somebody commented, Bruce, there's an application that tells you when they're going to flash. And in reality, it's people that call in that can say that they see satellites flashing back at us and whatnot. But the worst of it, the people that tell me to go see the apps, I do. And I even started showing some of them, but no reply from the trolls on that one. All of you here know that what we are looking at in the sky, low like that, are not satellites. It's as silly as that. It's just as silly as that it's the size, it's the height and the area. But you're all looking at a black screen. You don't know what where I'm filming and where I'm doing it. Over to the moon. Before I get into the UFO that came down to the house, because I always like showing that one, and that one's the one that reached, the government. So I was happy about that. So eventually they will be declassifying many images and even maybe possibly videos, maybe even mine at one point. But on the moon, it's hard to call these UFOs. And showing whether you want to call it an atmosphere or not, you have no choice, because scientists declare that there is an atmosphere on the moon. That's a fact. Look that up. The moon does have an atmosphere, even though they say it's 1/6 of that of Earth. Here's the UFO that came down to the house. We know satellites will not go as low as my garage and then go back up into space. That's a fact. And, there's no need to fight or shout, or this is a pretty secret, actually top secret video, but, it's presented by me, an amateur, even though I do study in ufology, and I present it as something I saw come down to the yard and slow down, by the way, over the top of the garage that you can see. The shape on the inside is changing from a circular shape to a cornered shape to a perfect square shape. You'll see it changes all the time. And yes, not refraction, but you can literally see the elements on whatever the hell this object is. It's partly see-through or transparent, whatever you want, translucent if you want. You can see through it. It was like blood red when I first saw this. Satellites, the trolls say, which I love. Listen, I love debating. I'm here for that. In my face, guys, you got to give it to me really hard, because honestly, this is not a satellite and you'll never be able to prove that it is. Do you see how slow it's going? Watch this. It gets to the point that you'll see it. It's 20 feet away from me, 15, 20 feet. And it's literally sitting on the top of my garage. You'll even see the roof of it, where it comes to almost a complete halt. This object was allowing me to film it, whatever it is, right? Looks like a bloody portal. There's the roof of my garage, right, in infrared, and you can see that ball of light literally stopped and hovering at the point and watching me, allowing me, and I'm talking like a mile a minute at this object. I have the original video, so don't wonder why they're hiding this channel. We all know that the governments will suppress these videos because it's truth. It's something that they maybe have not even seen themselves. Okay, let's not put it out of the possibilities that it could be that they're telling partly truth when they say that there are too many different types of these UFO phenomena. It's true. There's lots of different things. This has never been shown before, but Stephen Greer showed a whistleblower showing a UFO, but craft, not like a see-through one or transparent one here, a craft where it has the same amount of lights around it, and it has the same exact shape on the inside, and there is some transparent parts, black, that can be seen through it. Stephen Greer talked about it himself. And this, of course, when I caught this, not 100,000 years ago, by the way, it was like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, right? Came down to the house, and in 2021, they shared this one, so I was really happy. And I, even consider myself lucky to have had the chance to share it, because honestly, not a lot of people get to share their research. But it destroyed the traffic, but that's okay, because a lot of you come back. Hey guys, this is on the moon. Okay, again, you can't call it a UFO. I'm just bringing to the table that imagine if there was actual biological life, biological creatures or transluminescent creatures or bioluminescent creatures that is hovering around in the atmosphere. And I've caught actually, 2 handfuls of these objects. I didn't know that many people. I won't linger on this. You'll be able to pause and read it yourself. It was a beautiful compliment from John Lear, of course. We were always having fun when I was on Facebook. He was a super guy, honestly, when it came to talking about UFOs. But he really did want to know how I was doing the work. And, everyone around him, all his group of people, really started disliking me, especially when he said what he said at the end, that I was a significant advance in science since Copernicus, and he had never dreamt that I would have proven his statements correct. And he really appreciated the work. And I get it. It had nothing to do with being best buddies because you liked my hair there. Okay. He was appreciating the fact that I mentioned that the moon really was, inhabited, or I didn't really say inhabited. He was saying that, but that there were structures there. Right. So this is some cool, really like trophies in reality, because think of it as John Lear and me, Bob Lazar, and John Lear in the videos. I listened to these guys years ago when I first got the internet, and never in my life had I ever even dreamt that not only communicated with him, but that he would add me as a Facebook, a friend, and that we would start doing some cool little projects together. I'm not going to hide it. I felt sort of felt like a CIA agent, right? I mean, listen, you're dealing with sort of a hero at the same time, known as the godfather of ufology. I had never seen, space photos aside from what, NASA would show and stuff. And this is the constellation of Hercules. These are my shots, and long exposure, Registax, and people are like, why don't you use that? And I don't know how you guys all thought that I was getting these images, right? I mean, hey, it's a 1,000 millimeter camera. If it would have been even closer, 2,000-3,000 millimeters, but it's having the options and 16 megapixel Nikon cameras, you have to pay thousands of dollars, to get out there in space. But I assure you, if you look at all these stars, suns, galaxies, and comets, or whatever, you could only imagine how many other beings are literally out there. But as for why someone would want to hide my channel, it's definitely has nothing to do with the stars, So get this, this is the way I can explain the surface the best to my ability, with my knowledge, and trust me, it makes sense. How? By showing you simple descending of an exposure. There's a film of light and or smoke or both over top of some of the regions where there are structures, or what looks like structures and towering objects. Bringing the exposure down, you can see that there is a light, and that light's, I don't believe it's natural. Don't have any proof that it's not, but for some reason, they seem to be hiding certain areas of the moon, and I don't know how they're doing it, probably with an energy source, and maybe that's what all the connections are, connecting that power source. It only makes sense that if I get close shots like this of the blue pool there at the bottom of Copernicus crater, and you can tell that Copernicus crater, to get it that big, the University Telescope Montreal, 43 inches, doesn't even show Copernicus crater that big. But again, it's not because they can't, it has nothing to do with their work. And if somebody was to rent a scope, which we can't here, I tried, but if somebody was to see the moon, they wouldn't be necessarily focused in that close. But it makes sense that by bringing the exposure down, I see a better surface, and it's exposing those living organisms in the atmosphere of the moon at the same time, and showing us a whole lot of UFOs and even explosions. Aliens on the moon. When are they going to tell the world? Come on, Pentagon. Aliens on the moon. Aliens on the moon. And they're mining really up there. They're mining on the moon. Aliens on the moon. Thank you very much for the support to this channel. Everyone, thanks for the generous contributions, and thanks for watching the videos. Aliens up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mining on the moon. Yes, they are up there.
Doesn't matter cause disclosure's coming soon.